So let's start with the outer ear. We have the auricle, the external auditory canal, the tympanic membrane. Okay. Then in the middle ear we have the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. The stapes, which is connected on this other part of the model. These three bones are called the ossicles. Also, we have this tube. It's called the pharyngotympanic or the auditory tube. Okay, also known as eustachian tube. Now, for the inner ear. For the inner ear, we have the cochlea, the vestibule with the two parts, utricle and saccule. And then we have our semicircular canals, anterior, lateral, and posterior. Okay, those are your three semicircular canals. Now, to see more, you also have the cochlear nerve, the vestibular nerve, and then here where they join, it's called the vestibulocochlear nerve. All right, so let's put this down and look at the bigger model now for the inner ear. Now, for the inner ear model, this is left ear as well. This would be the correct position. We have here the cochlea with the cochlear nerve. We have these chambers within the cochlea. They're called the scala vestibuli, scala media, and scala tympani. Okay. Put this back again. So that's for the cochlea. Now, for the vestibule, we have the utricle and the saccule. And then we have here for the semicircular canals, which is anterior, lateral, and posterior, we have the ampulla. The ampulla correspond to these semicircular canals. In addition, we have layers here for the inner ear. All of this, what you see, colored, sort of that light tan color. All of this is the bony labyrinth. The other layer, which is this colored in gray, is your membranous labyrinth. Each contains its own fluid. This would be perilymph, and the fluid inside of the membranous labyrinth would be the endolymph. Okay. A few other things. Oval window, round window, endolymphatic sac, which is missing, but this would be part of it. We have the cochlear nerve. And that would cover most of what you need to know with this model. And then last we have this big model. Okay, this is a sagittal or transverse view of the cochlear duct or of the cochlea. And you have your three main ducts or scala, your scala vestibuli, your scala tympani, and your scala media, also called cochlear duct. If you look at the cochlear duct, it's also called scala media. You have above it, you have this thing called the vestibular membrane. On the bottom, you have this light blue area that's called the basilar membrane. Okay. Inside of the cochlear duct, you have this little organ. It's called the organ of Corti, or the spiral organ of Corti, with different parts, such as the tectorial membrane, the cilia of the hair cells. These are your actual hair cells. And then this would be the supporting cells. Then you also have finally these little fibers here, the nerve fibers, which also continue right here. Nerve fibers of this nerve called the cochlear nerve. This body that you see right here, that's called the spiral ganglion, which is part of the cochlear nerve. So if they point here, it's spiral ganglion. If they point here, it's cochlear nerve. Okay? And then lastly, the fluids. In the scala vestibuli and scala tympani, you find perilymph. In the scala media or cochlear duct, you find endolymph. Okay. The other structures, I think,
are not usually asked on the exam.
Okay.